Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you so much for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 169 of our trek, and yesterday we explored verses 15 through 23 of Proverbs chapter 5. Today we are heading back out on our trails as we look at the 5 trails to getting over yourself so that you can get on with your trek in life. We will hike trails 1 through 3 today. If you've missed any of our Days of the Wisdom Trek episodes, please go to wisdom-trek.com and listen to them and read the daily journals. We are recording our podcast from our studios at home too in Charlotte, North Carolina. Last week seemed to zip by so quickly, but we did have a great time this weekend with Kip on Saturday, picking out materials for his quilt that Granny is going to be making for him, and then on Sunday we had a good time of fellowship and worship at our local church. This was the first time that we've been back in Charlotte for a weekend for nearly 2 months. So it was a great time to be back. Let's start right in on our trek today as we look at the 5 trails hike to getting over yourself so that you can trek on with your life. Have you ever noticed that life just happens? It just does. And yet we spend so much time trying to control what happens in our lives, micromanaging how it happens, and then telling everyone else how they should control and manage their lives, that we often miss the point of what we actually are experiencing in our own life. The question is, why do you expend so much energy trying to control those things that you really don't have any control over? At the end of the day, isn't it just exhausting? Life actually is quite simple. We have 2 choices in any given situation, circumstances, or event. We can be a victim and believe that things are happening to us, we have no control over our situations, and we can blame others for the injury that we have suffered. Or we can start taking responsibility for our own lives, our own thoughts, our own words, and our own actions, and then decide, regardless of the injury, we are going to choose to live a life on our terms more powerfully. In our society, we are supported, encouraged, and even rewarded for being a victim. And yet, does being a victim ever feel really good? Not usually. Being a victim tends to make us feel weak, vulnerable, and powerless. And these feelings in turn can lead to depression, frustration, and uncertainty, which can certainly affect our health. The difference between taking responsibility for ourselves when life throws us a curveball versus being a victim of a situation is that we become far better equipped spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and many times even physically. We stop allowing these energy vampires to suck the life out of us, and rather than feeling powerless, depressed, and frustration, we are able to experience our situations as opportunities to test our superpowers of strength, positivity, clarity, and focus. If you are sick and tired of being frustrated, drained, like you just can't get a break, and are ready to get over yourself and on with your life, here are a few guidelines for living life on your own terms. These are the 5 trails that we'll cover, and the first trail is the Stop Blaming Everyone Else trail. Seriously, stop it. Stop giving your power away and blaming others for what is or is not happening in your life. Your life is not anybody else's fault, and people are not doing anything to you. This reminds me of the old Bob Newhart episode clip where he diagnoses all his patients' issues with "Stop it." I will embed the link to this clip in today's journal if you care to watch it. I find it quite hilarious. But to get back onto our trail, what you are experiencing is not somebody else's fault. Somebody else may have had a hand in creating an uncomfortable experience for you, but you're the one who gets to decide how it goes from there. Something even better than Bob Newhart's treatment, though, can be found in Colossians chapter 3, verse 13. Make allowances for each other's faults, and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Our second trail today is Your Life is Your Responsibility trail. How do you feel about your life right now? Are you frustrated at work? Do bad things frequently happen to you? Is physical or emotional pain keeping you from fully enjoying each day? Are you overwhelmed with so much to do that you procrastinate doing any of it? So what are you going to do about it? A quote from Larry Winget put it this way: "Stop expecting the world to rescue you. The Lone Ranger is not coming. There is no magic pill or knight in shining armor on a white horse coming to take you away or make all your discomforts disappear. You are your own hero. So you want to control your own life? Then take responsibility for it. How you feel and what you think about is reflected in how you speak. In other words, in the words that you use, and manifests itself in the world around you. Own your feelings, be truthful with yourself, and be willing to face reality squarely in the face so that you can make the decisions that empower you and bring you joy. If you lack joy and peace in your life, take responsibility for your actions and also call on God as mentioned in Lamentations 5:21, which tells us, "Restore us, O Lord, and bring us back to you again. Give us back the joy that we once had." And on to our third trail, which is things are not always as they seem trail. No matter how much we think we know, we don't really know everything. We all base our experiences and our own perceptions, which have been colored through our own lenses of past events and observations, or may not be the full truth of any situation. This is called our paradigm. We perceive the world through the filters that we have planted into our own minds. In the book Communion with God, Neil Donald Walsh writes, "Please temporarily give up any previous notion that you had about God and life. It is not that you are abandoning them forever, but merely setting them aside for a moment to allow for some possibility that there may be something that you do not know, the knowing of which could change everything in your life." So while we spend most of our lives accumulating knowledge so that we can determine our own values and belief systems and live accordingly, the truth is that there is an entire world of experiences that exist beyond our knowing. Everything does happen for a reason, even if we do not know what that reason is at the time. But the reason may be based on the decisions that you have previously made, which could be either good or bad. But past decisions do not control the future forever. Keep an open mind and be willing to allow for that which you do not know. Sometimes the truth is far better than you could have ever imagined. And Paul writes about this in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12. "Now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. But then we will see everything with perfect clarity. All that I know now is partial and incomplete. But then I will know everything completely, just as God knows me completely." Those are the 3 trails that we'll hike for today, and tomorrow we will hike the 2 remaining trails, which are the trails of acknowledging your feelings and say what you mean. The trails that we're hiking today and tomorrow are very rough trails. We have encountered situations about ourselves that are not easy. We need the endurance to carry on, even if we do not feel like it. It will allow us to grow and mature so that we can reach our full God-given abilities. The life lessons that we learn each day are so valuable to everyone that we meet. So encourage your family and friends to join us each day and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. And we will finish up this trek on Trails 4 and 5. I do want to mention a new service that we have available. If you would like to be added to our weekly email update for Wisdom Trek, just text the word WISDOM to 44222 on your phone, and you will receive a message asking you for your email address. It is a very quick and easy thing to do. And that'll finish our podcast for today. Remember to listen to your daily dose of wisdom at wisdom-trek.com, or subscribe at iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or YouTube so that the episodes will be downloaded to you automatically each day. And please share Wisdom Trek with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person, and invite them to come along with us each day. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.